There we go. And it says we are live. So welcome, welcome, welcome to everybody out there. Yes, I'm wearing different glasses than I usually do. These are my computer glasses. And I have these because I can see the keyboard and the screen without having to do this to get the right focus on my glasses. So, what do you think? Um, I hope everybody's had a good time the past couple of weeks while I was away. Well, I wasn't away much. I was away for a few days, several days. We went to Maine, so just in time, and got back just in time for the heat wave that we hit here. Okay, so anyway, I should just in case there's somebody new joining, I will say this is the Digital Desk by George G. That's us. We're up here in the northwest corner of Vermont, um, little town in the woods. I can see Mount Mansfield from my front yard. We're 25 minutes, 30 minutes outside of Burlington, the largest city in the state. Um, and we're maybe 2 hours from Montreal. So we're near the Canadian border, but I think maybe it's less than an hour. It takes a little, almost an hour, but not quite, to get to the Canadian border. And so let's see here, what else I want to say here. I think that's pretty much it. I posted everything in the chat, but I will repeat it verbally here. So if you're new, please email me. My email's there in the chat with your real name, your YouTube name, your shipping, and your PayPal information. We do use PayPal and Pirate Ship for shipping. Pirate Ship gives us a really good discount, so I do the best I can, and I still want to package things properly, but I try to be very not good. I don't with the shipping. I will charge you what is exactly what I'm getting charged. We do bidding in dollar increments or more, up to $10, and then $2 or more after $10. Most of the items will start in the less than $10 range. I think there's a few that'll be a little higher. You'll see as we get going. Once I post the sold in the chat, that closes the bidding. And there are going to be some multiple items tonight. So when I put sold, it'll be for the item that was sold in the multiple bidding, and then we'll close out after that. Thanks. I just went with some because I just use these for computer work. I work from home in the morning, working on I'm a quality engineer for software testing, and I'm on the keyboard on the computer for 4 hours every morning, or more sometimes. So when it came time to get some new glasses this year, my prescription hadn't changed, and so I said, hey, why don't I get smart and get some glasses specifically for working on the computer? So now I can see this screen in front of me really clearly without having to move my head, and I still can see there's still slightly a change between what's in the middle and what's on the bottom. So I can see the keyboard clearly, and I can see the screen clearly, which is really nice. Really, really nice. For anybody who works on a computer a lot, and you wear glasses, I highly recommend getting that kind of prescription. And they're not expensive. So, okay. Let me see what else. Okay, so I explained where we are, and what I do some part of my time. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, so we got back just in time for the heat wave. We hit 100 Monday. That's extremely unusual for us here in Vermont. It used to be the average above 90 days was around 6 to 8, something like that. I think in this decade, they say we've been averaging closer to 14 days above 90. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot to some of the folks down south. I realize that in Texas, above 90 is pretty much the norm throughout most of the summer. Um, but but anyway, so yeah, we did this. And it was definitely a heat wave and humid. And it's cooled off tonight. It's back in the 70s, and it's supposed to be in the 70s the next few days. So that's more like what we normally see this time of year, 70s and 80s. So it's been good for the garden, I have to say. The garden's been loving this warm weather. And I've got a bumper crop of strawberries this year. We'll be starting probably tomorrow or the next day making jam. So with the strawberries, I think I'm going to guess close to 3 to 4 quarts of strawberries already, and that's just from a few days of picking. So, and it's not a big. I've just got a raised bed that's not very big. It's like I think 8 by 4, something like that. So it's really cool. So they're doing very well this year. Everything else is doing quite well. We have most of our stuff in raised beds. I haven't been able to put anything in the ground because it's been so wet. In fact, I had to bring in somebody to clear part of my lawn. We couldn't mow it; it was so wet, and we had to bring in a professional to knock it down. So, okay, vacation. So we went to Maine. I highly recommend. I grew up in Maine, and this is an area right near where I grew up, so I knew the area very, very well. And we did some gold painting. We got a few specks. Didn't get a lot. We didn't spend a lot of time doing that, but we did. We knew we'd spend some time doing that. So on the Swift River in Byron, Maine, at the Coos Canyon Campground, which I highly recommend. They are really good people there. Each of the campsites we brought our RV, and each of the campsites are nicely isolated, around by trees, surrounded by trees and stuff. So you're not like on some of these RV sites. You're right next to each other. That's not the case there. And my daughter rented a cabin, which was really nice. It looked brand new. And they had a nice grill and smoker and all that. It came with it. It's really nice. So accommodations were really good. So rabbits. I saw somebody else posted that on in my work. And somewhere I think they're out in the Chicago area, now that I think about it. And they said the rabbits are like crazy. They said there's not enough predators to keep up with the rabbits. So we saw them. On the way there was a deer across the road in front of us, and on the way home there was a deer across the road in front of us. Didn't see any moose. Well, we didn't go looking for them either. We did go to one area where they tend to be, but didn't see anything. We did do a little driving around, did some sightseeing because some of the family had not been into that area in a long time, and they just didn't remember it very well. So, but certainly recommend the area. It's not far from the Range of the Lakes region. Great fishing up there, and it's a really nice places to stay and rent. There's Airbnb and there's inns and there's whatever you're looking for, whatever your accommodations or preferences are. And there are some state parks up that way as well, which tend to be more primitive. They don't have any hookups or anything like that. So that was good. And we had great weather while we were there in the 70s. The bugs weren't bad. No ticks, which was really a surprise. So that was nice. And like I said, we had a good time. We had good food, and we spent a lot of time with family, which was really always good. Okay, well, I been a little crazy as we got back, between the weather and everything else. So I'm trying to work on getting the garden in. It gets late. We usually try to get our garden in by the end of May. We're now at the end of June, but it was just too wet, and so and I've got a lot of other projects trying to get done now. The weather's cooperating a bit. So, but we will continue to do our auctions here on Wednesdays as we can. There will be another gap towards the end of July where I'm taking some more time off. But anyway, all right. So let's switch to the other camera and get started on this stuff. I don't have as much as I usually bring. So we'll see. I might grab some stuff as we go here. I'm going to start out with some non-jewelry stuff. Most of the rest of the evening is going to be jewelry. I think I got one other non-jewelry item. But I did show some coins in the past, and there were some interest at times. So these are all foreign coins. What I'd like to say is they're pre-euro. Euro started, I think, in most countries around 2000. I think for France, which is these are French coins, started in France around 2002. So these are French francs. There's 12 1 franc pieces, various dates. Some are really good condition. 1960, 1961, some of these. This is a 5 franc piece from, let's see if we can see a date on here. That's an older one, 1947. So, and you can tell that's aluminum. It's an aluminum coin. Whereas these have a more of a silvery appearance. They're not silver. I took a magnet to them. They jump right onto the magnet. So um, you'll see some people list this as silver, but if there's any silver in there, it's not much. But some of these are in pretty good condition. So there's a total of 12 francs there and a 5 franc piece there. So we will say French francs. Oops, I can spell. We'll start these at, oh, I don't know. What did I say? There was 12, 13 coins altogether there. $8. I really don't know what they're worth. I have no idea. I kind of tried to look them up. Some people were asking some crazy prices for some of these, and I don't think they actually get that kind of money. If there's some money to be made in those, well, you're going to make some good money then. But I figured I'd start them out at a reasonable price, and if there's money to be made for somebody who's a reseller, or if you're a collector, this is a good deal. But again, the euro is no longer is the coin in France. These are no longer. I should state really clearly: you cannot spend this money. They're no longer accepted. They're strictly for collectors. So they are no longer considered valid financially, but they are considered collectible. And like I said, these are all in really good condition, most of these. The 1947 ones got some wear on it, as you could tell when I showed it. But I thought I'd show a few of these. I came across this collection I had of these sometime today, actually. Forgot I even had them. So you got it. That reminds me when you see that. So I was metal detecting my own property because our property goes. The house is built in 1857, and I thought, well, it might. And we have found some old coins, and so I was around the stone wall up in the fields and stuff, and walked down back to the road. Had my metal detector on as I'm walking, and all of a sudden it starts going off. I'm finding pennies, all kinds of pennies, and all in one spot. Someone must have just had a big hole in their pocket or dropped a bunch. But one of the things was a $2 euro because it looks just like a penny. And I was really surprised. So I was meant to give it to my granddaughter when she went to England, but then she doesn't need euro in England. So because they went back to the British pound. So it wouldn't have been any use to her unless they decide to go back over to the mainland. So, but anyway, that was pretty interesting to find something like that. All right, we'll pass on that. I've got a couple of other coins I'm going to show, and then we'll try and see if there's any interest in those, and then we'll start jumping into some other stuff. So what I got here is a bunch of Australian coins. And those are older, much older coins. Okay. And so I have George the Sixth. There's a bunch of those. I think there's Elizabeth on that one, and George the Fifth on that one, and on that one, and on that one, and this is George the Fourth. Looks like maybe on that one. So, and these are all British coins. They're all pennies. It's a 1 penny piece. One's got a kangaroo on it. This one's also 1 penny. This is also in 1 penny. All different years. This one is in 1922. This one is in 1921. This one's in 1919. This one is in 1944. This one's in 1959. And this was in 1949. So So Australian, yeah, yeah, I suppose that'd be a good thing you could do with them. They could stand a little bit of cleaning, of course. Um, and we'll start this at $80 as well. I think they're all 1 penny. Oh, that's a half penny. I stand corrected, or sit corrected. Actually. That's a half penny. So these are pennies. These are half pennies. It's amazing to see a penny coin so large, but that was pretty typical for years, up till I would say, well, depending on the country. In the United States, we went to the smaller penny almost right away. Early 1800s, they were large like this, and especially if they were the state coins. State pennies, like the New England states, they minted their own coins shortly after the Revolution because the federal government hadn't caught up yet, and they were still actually still using British pennies and stuff till even after we won the war. So a lot of people weren't aware of that, but we did use it. We had to use something. So really, oh, I didn't. I guess I should have. The British had, as I say, the sun never set on the British British Empire. And I believe somebody told me recently that's still true because of various islands and things that they have that are still under British monarchy. So interesting. So, but I thought I'd bring these up and see if anybody's interested. And then I got one more set of coins after this, and then we'll do something else. Okay, let me think here. Yeah, we didn't get to do a lot of shopping while we were on vacation, which I guess is okay. There is this one really cool place in Byron called the Gem and Gift Shop there, and she has some just absolutely gorgeous handmade jewelry that they make there, and gemstones and stuff. Massive amethyst pieces and stones of every possible imagine. Gold that's from the river, and jewelry made from gold that's from the river. And considering the price of gold nowadays, they were pretty reasonable on some of their prices. But it was some pretty impressive pieces they had in there. Yep, I knew who the owner was and is, and got to speak to her quite a bit actually while we were there. So again, we have connections to the area, so okay, we'll pass on that. Huh. That's interesting. Well, that's interesting. It's always cultural things like that are always fascinating. Okay, so we'll pass on the Australian coins. Let's set those aside. Someone's interested later. Now, I actually have 2 silver coins, and these are, and I did look them up too, Switzerland. One is dated 1921, and the other one's dated 1936. And they're Swiss. Let me see if I can get that in my hand steady enough here you can focus. A half franc. That's one side. And there's the other side. And same thing here. Another half franc from 1936. So these are 0.825. I think it was the number I looked. I did look these up. 0.825 silver Swiss 1/2 franc coins. Oops, almost typed it wrong. And I'm going to ask for both of, oops, on screen, here we go. I'm going to ask for both of these what I'm seeing one go for, okay? So we'll start this at $10. Oops, I'm going to type that wrong. And I think, this whole people collecting silver thing is kind of where it's at. So I see Marlini at 10. Yeah, it's a good deal, I think, especially anybody who likes to collect silver. They're not big. I could actually tell you the weight if I had my other scale handy. Oh, it is. Let me turn it on here. Get the cover off of it. Just so you know. So looks like it's almost 5 grams. Just so you know. See that? They're about the size of a US dime. So anyway. Scale away. Oh, I see. Oh, hey, Chris. I see Chris at 12. And Marlene at 15. So, and I've been looking to see if I have this literally a bunch of random coins. And I sorted these out. And then I said, oh, these look like they're silver. And I checked out, I did a quick search online, and sure enough, that's what they are. So we'll see Marlene at 20, Chris at 17, and see Marlene went up to 20. Yeah, and it's interesting. Of all the coins, not a single one, only one of them in all the coins I've got are magnetic. Chris is out, so we'll say going once, going twice. Let's call. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Write that down. All right, put that in a little bag. Something that small, I always worry about losing them. Okay. Oops, what did I hit? Some button on here by accident. Okay. I'm going to write that name on there, of course. Everybody's doing well out there. Like I said, it cooled off finally a little tonight. It's in the 70s. Supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow. Looking forward to that. I can finish putting my garden in. Okay. We're going to jump right into some jewelry. And I'm going to apologize right up front here. I know all of these. I'm going to show a bunch of rings. This is a for choice thing. And these are all very small. I think they're like 5s and 6s. So if you, and I understand that this one's like 5.5, and this one's a 5.25. I think they're all in that same size area. Now this one's actually a 6.25. And I'll show them all closer in a minute. And this one's a 5.75. And this one's even smaller. This one's only 4 3/4. So, all right. And so what I'm going to do, so let me get rid of that on the screen. Okay. These are going to be rings for choice. Like I said, they're all small, really small. So I know there's not much of a range here in size. So, but I'm going to do a buy it now and name it to claim it for $4. Let me put that in the screen here. Okay, so we'll say this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the largest one, and I'll show you each one here. So this is the first one. It's kind of a, none of these are marked. Kind of a rose gold color with little pieces in it like that. Let me get that. There we go. This one's a gold tone with pretty little red stone in it and offset by some little white crystals. This one's in a little greenish stone. Again, some gold tone. This one is just a banded thing with a split on the bottom. So I suppose you could spread that out if you wanted. And then this one here has the small one has a bunch of crystals in it and gold tone again. Any interest in anything like that? Yeah, I know. Some of these folks, I have more than one account, so it does kind of throw me every once in a while. I've seen that. Again, anybody wants to see any one of these? 1, 2, 3. Number green, number 3. Okay. That's the one, and that's very small. Like I said, as long as you understand that, I'll put that your name down. Thank you. You can write that down. Oh, hey, what does this mean? Okay. So now we're at the 1, 2, 4, and 5. And if there's no interest in any of those, we will pass. I'm not gonna. Can't imagine if anybody who's interested, they'd be jumping on it. I would hope by now. So I try to account for the lag and everything. So okay. Get those picked up. Put those aside and put Chris's in an envelope so I don't misplace it. There we go. My wife got smart a while back and ordered me a ton of these little plastic envelopes. So things get messed up, mixed up, or whatever. So yeah. Okay, set that aside. What do we do next? Let's try this. I'm going to put this one on the stand just so you can see how it hangs. This is quite long. Let me back up the camera a bit. Ow, that just got out of my foot. That didn't help. You ever have a steel mandrel land on your foot? That hurt. Okay, so we've got a silver tone necklace. I would guess this is probably pretty long, maybe 24 or more. I will measure it. And the cross has a rutilated quartz in the center of it. Get a little close so you can see it. It's rutilated, it's what they call rutilated quartz. Here's the back of it. Let me get your length here and take it off and just real quickly run again against my ruler here. Boy, yep. It's got an 2-inch extension on it, so without the extension, it's pretty close to 24. And then with the extension, it's 2 inches more. And I put it on backwards. Let's try it. Okay. Oops. What did I do? Start typing and start doing something else on me. Oops. Like this. Well, we'll start this at $6. What's that sound? Is there any interest? I see Chris at 6. Same. Going once. Oh man. Tight getting this thing. Every once in a while I hit the key. Just got to hit the right click on it here and then going twice. Excuse me. Last call. So, Chris, for $6. Thank you, everybody. And, by the way, and thanks. I said it earlier. I hope I did. Let me grab another bag. And get that out there. I have if you saw the preview, I know some people do catch the previews. I had a lot of pins, so we'll do one of those next. Oh, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like the looks of it. Let me write down your name before I forget to do that. Okay. Let's do a pin, like I said. Let's start with this really interesting one. I didn't even know I had this until the other day. Camera up closer. Down. Let's get rid of this screen. And I had no idea what to ask for this thing, so I'm going to just start at $5. I think that's a fair start. There's the only thing it says on the back is China, so it's so you can see it's got a gold tone on the back and an enameled. Snake. I don't know if it's supposed to be a particular type of snake or whatever, but there it is. see this? There we go. It made it look like there was a defect in one of the eyes, but it's just the way the light was hitting it. You pull the light away and you can see it better. You can see it looks just fine. Sometimes those reflections from the light can throw you off a little bit. It's just an interesting pen. It was brand new. I came across it. It was in a plastic bag. I think it's brand new. I say because it was in a sealed plastic bag. And I was like, I don't know where I got this. It's like, I wonder if it was something that was mixed in with something else. And I just didn't notice it. But anyway, interesting pen. And I mentioned this in the past, but I know pens have gotten, for a while, had gotten some popularity because the kids were putting them on their backpacks and stuff like that. So kind of makes me think back to the days when Crocs were really popular and there were people getting those little pins to put, the little things to put on their Crocs. They were like a pen, I guess. But that's true. Yep. Hopefully not gang oriented. Anyway, okay. Well, that's one of the pins we have here. Let's do some earrings. I'm just checking. I test these. I can't test these. No. Okay. All right, we'll pass on that. And we'll go to some earrings. Oops, I just dropped one. And these are not silver that I can tell. But I did put them on the card so you can kind of see how they hang. And I'll put my hand there so you can kind of see the contrast. A little bit green and blue and kind of it's actually more of those more sleeves in between are more purplish than they are black. The light doesn't really do it justice here in this case. I'm trying to change the intensity of the light to see if it makes it come out, but nope. But oh yeah, karate. Yeah. There's some. That's true. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna call these the blue-green earrings. And we'll start these at $4. I think. But the larger bead is also kind of a purplish color. In the light here, it's kind of you can sort of catch a little bit of that if I hold this just right, I think. But anyway. Oops, I pushed it into the car too far. Not hanging down very well. There we go. Looks like they're uneven, but they're not. I think it looks better against my hand. Oh yeah, that's better. You can now see some of that little bit of a purplish tone. It's that. Oops, I didn't put it on the screen. I wonder if that looks even better against the white. Maybe not. No. Anyway, you get the idea? What they look like? Okay. Let me look for the next item. Oh, these are definitely non-jewelry items. I got a couple. Like I said, I've got a couple other non-jewelry items tonight. But these are cute. Okay, we'll pass on this. Set this aside. And then how about some turtle magnets. I think I've shown these in the past, but I'm not sure. I probably did. Or maybe I just had, these are just a bigger batch. I know I've sold some in the past. So, we'll start this at, excuse me. Come on. We'll keep this in reasonable range here. Just say $5. I'll show you each there. I think they're like a clay or resin. They feel light compared to me to think that they're a resin. They feel more like a clay. And here's the magnet. It could be just plastic. It could be just an acrylic thing. I don't know. You see, they're not large, but I'd say about an inch across, about an inch wide, and maybe an inch and a half long lengthwise. Yeah, if there's any interest in those little guys. And put it on screen. Okay. One thing I don't have a lot of tonight is bracelets. I have 2. Okay, no interest in the turtles. We will pass and go on. I know there's other folks out there besides Chris and Marlene. You've been awful quiet in the chat. You can ask questions. We don't buy much. Okay, bracelet. This is a really, it's a stretchy one. And light up them closer here so you can, trying to get some of that shadowy out of there. It's really hard to do. Okay. I'm going to call this a large bracelet. Just for how else to describe it. And we'll start this at $4. Is any interest in that kind of thing? So we'll show it up here. It's got like a, just trying to get the color, get the glare out of there so you can see the colors. It's purple, and then that's kind of like a rutilated brown, and then this is a brass colored piece. More of the same. It's just kind of a repeating pattern. Light brown there, and it stretches enough that it goes on my hand. But I have a very big wrist, so. Oh boy, it isn't a focus then. Yeah, it doesn't quite fit. My hand's a little too big. Oh, you're walking the dogs again tonight? Yep. Well, I hope it's not too bad a night out there for you. I know the Midwest has just saw some of the same heat that we just got. So, okay, no interest in the bracelet. We will pass. We have lurkers. Yeah, we always have. Well, I don't mind lurkers. They're fine. I love having them watching. Maybe they'll find something interesting. All right, we'll pass on that. Oh, this was in the previews. I suppose I should show it. Okay, this is an interesting little item. Oh, we haven't walked our dog too much. It's been the pavement gets too hot, and we're afraid of her feet. We don't have anything we can put on her feet to protect her feet. So the only thing I can do, I couldn't take her out in the yard because the grass was so high, we were about ticks. So she got a lot of walking though while we were on vacation. So like I said, we didn't see any ticks there at all. Okay, so this is an interesting cruet. It's an oil and vinegar cruet. It appears to be brand new. I have no idea. I don't think I even looked this one up. I can't remember if my wife did on that. She may have told me something on this one, and I just blanked out on it here. So we'll start this at. I think I'm gonna guess at the number she gave me. I think it was around $8. But it holds both the oil and vinegar, as you can see, a 2-in-1. Includes cork stoppers, 7.7 inches by 2.4 glass. It's kind of interesting because they have the oil, or yeah, I guess it'd be the oil in the center thing that looks like a grape cluster, and then I assume the vinegar would be in the outer one. I don't know. This is perfect for wine and cheese party. This grapevine cruet shows oil and vinegar from the same bottle with a cork stopper and a grape bunch motif. It's a perfect part. And hand wash recommended. So, yeah. Let's see. Not made in China. Yeah. Rustic farmhouse oil and vinegar cruet. So anyway, didn't know if there'd be some interest in that. I did have it in the preview, so I thought I'd better show it. And for those that entertain, it would be an interesting piece to have. I know often we have the oil and vinegar. You mix it, and then you dip your bread in it. I know there's a word term for it. I'm not something I frequent do, but I thought I'd bring that up. I know that's something we've done with it in the past. So, okay. I'm just picking out the next piece here to show. Another silver piece tonight that we're going to have. And I can tell you for sure this is 925 silver, both the necklace and the pendant. Okay, I'm just trying to get it ready here so I can show it. Tangle this inventory tag that's on it. Oops, see, that's where I'm trying to set this up while this is up there. Okay. Alrighty, well, we'll pass on that. Get that out of the way. I'll throw that up on eBay or something, maybe. I don't know. Another necklace, and I know this is the wrong kind of display. You shouldn't show silver on black, but I've yet to fix my other one. I'm going to take it off there and show it to you in my hand anyway. Oops, let me get this off the screen. So this is a chain and pendant with amethyst. And we'll start this at, I usually go with $14. I think it's my price in the past for silver items like this. So we'll stick with that. It's a very nicely delicate little chain. And it is marked. Let me see if I can show that on camera. No, not going to focus, is it? Oh, there it is. So there's the 925 on that. And so it's an amethyst crystal and a little bat. doesn't have to wear it just for Halloween. You can wear it whenever you want. And this is a silver piece as well. I think it is. I'm not sure if it's marked, but it is silver. I know it is because we made it. And it's a amethyst crystal. So, yeah. Put the camera down. You can see it better that way. Nice, you get the color of the crystal better that way too. Yeah. Nice amethyst, piece of amethyst. You can see the you can see the I forget what they call it. It's not relation, but it's something like that. And the crystal, but it does catch the night light nicely. I'll get that out quickly. This silver, guaranteed. And I think it's about I'm going to say that's a pretty long chain. 18-inch chain. So, okay, I see Chris at 14. So we're going to say going once. Going twice. Last call. And sold to Chris for 14. Now, I know getting a good deal on that, Chris. I'm happy you got it. I have seen, we watch other auctions, of course, and I know that this other auction we watched, she has a lot of silver items, and most of her stuff starts out usually in the $20 or more range. So I try to be a little fair about my prices, I think. Thank you, by the way. Okay. Write that all down. So I'm write it on the bag. I'll do that. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's see. What's next? Oh, let's go with one of these. I haven't done one of these. I'll get untangled. There we go. So I've got some more dichroic glass pieces tonight. And we're going to stick with, and they're on a gold chain. This one happens to be on a gold chain, gold tone chain. Oops, let me get rid of this. So, and we're going to do the same as we've done in the past few auctions, $8 start. And show this up close. Let me get the glare away from it. There we go. Try to get it the light. We get enough light to see it, but not we get the glare from the light. See how glare. Oh, glare. And then the back, of course, it's just that plain. I think I put that as close as I can get it without. Come on, focus. There we go. So it's kind of a purple and gold tone to it. There. So it's to angle it so the light doesn't glare on it. Yeah. Yep. Looks like a gold nugget. It's probably a gold foil in there of some sort that she used. if you're new to my channel, we've been doing a few of these in the past couple of auctions, and we met the woman that makes these. She's moving to South Carolina, so she was giving us a good deal on these, and they didn't come with the chain. We supplied the chain, so. But she has a secret on how to make them. Apparently, she does. I guess, see how thin that is? Apparently, the thinness is really difficult to do with dichroic. I didn't know that. I was talking with a friend of mine who owns a local jewelry slash gift slash whatever shop. He's got some great stuff, fantastic stuff, and I shop in there all the time for getting gifts for my family. And he said, yeah, getting that thin in the glass there's a secret to that. Most of the ones that can do that will not talk about how they do it. So she did a nice job on that one, I thought. So okay, I will pass on that one. I do have a couple more tonight. Okay, I was doing this pin. This was in the preview. I did not see any markings on this, but it's really quite pretty. And the light's catching it nicely right there, so I'm going to leave it like that. There we go again. We'll start this. Let's see. How do I make sure? Yeah, that is the only one I got. Okay, I want to make sure it's the only butterfly pen I've got. We'll start this one at, I don't know, $6. Does that sound reasonable? There's no markings on the back, but it does really catch the light, and it's. Let me back off the light a little bit so you can see, because it does have more than just the whitish color. It's kind of got purplish tint and yeah, it's just so intense. Let me see if I can pull this light away, way away. No, that's too much. You gotta have just enough light on to give you this sense of how colorful it is. Yes, Aurora Borealis look to it. Yes, exactly. And I wish it's. I'm trying to figure out how to give you enough. Yeah, that shows the purplish a little better there. If I see how like too much light on it, if I back off the lighting a little bit, it's not quite so intense. You can see the purple in it. So, okay. All right. Oh, how did I touch your earrings? I have two pairs. Well, I've got some earrings. I will do one more now. And I've got this other pair that are really fascinating. We'll show a little later. Okay, no interest in the butterfly pin. A little pass on that. And earrings. That's it. I was going to do earrings. So these were in the preview, so I'm not sure I wanted to show them. I'll take them off the card here in a minute because I think it doesn't. I have them on the card just to keep them from getting separated. So, so these are. I'm going to call these the gold tone, and black earrings. We'll start these at $5. Now I'm going to take them off. Now they don't have your standard shepherd's hook. That's the other reason I want to take them off anyway. They have that the style with a hook that fastens and a little clip. And actually, that's showing pretty well color-wise. It's got the amber-colored beads at the bottom and the black sleeves on the other part, and then kind of a gold, light pale gold tone on the top, and a gold tone wire to give you an idea how they hang. Any interest in those? While I look up the next thing. Oh, yes. I did have another well, I wouldn't call it non-jewelry. I guess it's jewelry-related item, but it's not jewelry. I'll show you in a minute here. Okay, I'm going to grab another sip of water. What am I doing? How am I doing for time here? 9:30. My time, 9:30. Excuse me. All right, we'll pass. On those, let me put them back in the car so they're separated. Great. All right. Like I said, I did have one other sort of jewelry-related item. It's a jewelry box. Be perfect for travel, I think. It's got a cloth type finish on the top and on the bottom. Oh, look, the sticker's an M on there. I don't know if that means anything. And there's the inside. It has a mirror with a gold trim edging, gold tone edging on it. And it looks like these little holes here. I assume that's for earrings, possibly. So, we'll start this at $7. How's that sound? Oops, I better put the hide that and show that. So it does have a mirror and necklace, I assume rings, earrings, and it's a cloth. Pretty. I think I've shown this in a prior auction. I have no idea. I don't know. I always forget what I've shown sometimes, but it's been more than a year. It's in really good shape. I didn't see any wear on it. It'd be a little dusty, but that's about it. Excuse me. Wednesdays is one of my days I have to get up early for work. So I'm up at 6:30 in the morning because I have to meet with the team in India, and it's 6:30 my time at 5 o'clock in the evening their time. So good people, really good people. Okay, well, we'll pass on the structure box. I did do a little metal detecting too while I was on vacation. Not a lot. I tried my metal detector in the stream to see if it's not really designed for finding gold, but I thought I'd give it a shot anyway. So, but no such luck. Okay, here's another necklace with a cross. Oops. Camera lined up a little better here. There we go. Keeps, oh, my camera's moving. That's what's on the problem here. Yeah, let me tighten that up. There we go. Okay. Let's see. We'll start this one at $6. How's that sound? I know I say it a lot, but it's pretty. It's on a gold tone chain. I think the chain, I'm going to say a 16. Let's see here. It is no extension on the chain, so. $18. Okay, 18. So you can see it's, get it up close here so you can see it better. We're trying to keep my hands steady if I can. Not working that well. There we go. On the back. Again, this is getting too much glare here. It's got a little like rhinestones all the way around, it looks like. Yeah, it looks better actually sitting on against the white background. Don't know if there's any significance to it being blue or if it's just a design thing. So, with a blue rhinestone in the center. Excuse me, another time for another drink of water. Okay. What did I do with it? Oh, there it is. The next item, I couldn't have it in my hands. Okay, no interest in the Blue Cross necklace. No problem. Let's go with an interesting little bracelet. Silver tone. And it looks like little cut, like crystal kind of. I don't think they're crystal. I think they're acrylic. But they do catch the light nicely. Silver tone. Little bracelet. The color is kind of almost a light purple. So I'm going to call this a silver tone and purple bracelet. We'll start this at $4. Is any interest? And it does have a little bit of stretchiness to it. A little price tag that didn't come off completely one time. And I think that's I only had the two bracelets in it. I just didn't dig into my stock of stuff. Oh, I am going to show one item from I did dig into a little bit into the estate stuff, and I think I'll show that next. So, okay, no interest in this one. We'll pass. And this one is from the estate. I don't believe the bank that it was in is connected, so I'm gonna. But this is a hematite necklace, really nicely polished. Actually, really. I think this is pretty long too. Yeah, 26. I'd say 26-inch hematite necklace. I don't know what to start this one at. I think I'm going to say $8. It is just really nice. And I say this is pretty good quality because it's knotted in between each one. That's usually a good sign of quality. And remember, I've mentioned in the past to some folks that are not, that are not new here, but a lot of this estate stuff I'm been told to get it out of there, get it out. It's like, okay, so it's not cheap. But interest in the new type, Yep, there's your demonstration of its hematite right there. Magnetic. Cool, huh? It is not, what's it, black opal. It's not black pearls. It is not, what other kind of black bead would be out there. But anyway, you get the idea. It's a hematite. And it's not, the core of this is not metal. It is just threaded on there. So very pretty. Oh, location was great, Beth. I see your bid. Thank you at $8. Yeah, we had a good time in Maine. Yep, I got you, Beth. And we did a little gold panning, got a little bit, nothing phenomenal, mostly just specs and stuff. Although I still got some I brought back with me that I still have to run through my cleanup buddy and see if I got anything in there that we might have missed. But we had a good time. The weather was great. Wasn't buggy, which I fully expected to be buggy. So it was not. It was really fun. So, okay, we'll say going once up. Let me get started here on this. Going once. Going twice. This is from the estate, if you've heard me say that. So this woman had generally pretty good quality stuff. And this one's, knotted in between each of the hematite beads. So thank you for being here, Beth. Appreciate you being here. And sold to Beth for $8. Thank you. Let me write your name down. Put that in a bag. Okay. Actually, this is the bag it came in. This is the bag that when it came from the estate, it was in this thing. And I don't think that was connected. I just think it's just by coincidence that it happened to be in that bag. Because when I picked up the stuff from them, she was just throwing the stuff in boxes and bags that were convenient. So I think. But if it's an honor collection, good for you. So it's a nice little leather pouch. So, wow, what a horrible family trip. Well, come on. Family trip should be horrible. All right. Is this one? No. Okay, so let's go with this guy here. Bring the camera down closer so you get this pin. Can you get that off the screen? Come on. What did I do here? Hide. There we go. All right. Let's try that again. Yeah, it was just my oldest daughter and her husband and son that were on the trip with us and our dog. So, and she loves being in the stream, the water. So she has fun. And we all had fun. And water wasn't that bad. It was, for a river, for a mountain river, it was relatively comfortable. So, okay, the parrot pin. Well, we'll start this at, I don't know, $5. I think it's vintage. I really do. I don't see any missing. I'm looking to see if there's any missing stones. I don't see any. There's the back. No markings. A little dirty. Could use a little cleaning probably, but I'm guessing hand painted. I see Marlini at 5. Yeah. Well, my grandson, he's 16, going on 17, and his friend was supposed to come and cancel at the last minute. And normally, when that happens, he would call my other grandson, who's the same age, and have him come. But he was already booked for work and couldn't. So, but we had fun with him anyway. He's a really good kid. So, but, we had fun. 42nd anniversary. I don't know. We celebrated our 53rd anniversary a week ago today. So, yeah, I'm old, but I was really young when I got married. 18 when I got married. Worked my way through college and to IBM. Alrighty. Well, we'll say going once, going twice. Last call. And sold to Marlene for $5. Thank you. Let me write that down. And put that with your stuff. Yeah. Yep. Oh, I've had a very interesting life. To me. Would be interesting to anybody else. Okay, let's see. How about another necklace? We haven't done a necklace for a while. No, we did do a necklace recently. That's not true. Oh, that's not a necklace. Oop. Here I am thinking of grabbing a necklace, and it's just a string of stone chips. And unless we have some crafters in the bunch, I don't know if we'd be interested in that. Would anybody be interested in making their own necklace with a bunch of stone chips? If no interest, I'm going to pull that up. I didn't. When I grabbed the bag, I thought it was a necklace. So, anyway, all right. So, yeah, the river we were at, gold panning, is well known. In fact, we met a guy there who was running a dredge. They just opened dredging season that weekend. We got there, and he was running a dredge just downstream from where we were. So, interestingly enough. All right, I'm going to do the same thing I did just a little while ago. Put some rings. Get a few more here than I had before, I think. Oh. So, again, they're all not. Let's see if we can get the string off of this one. Just so it's. Try to get the string off and it just goes right back on. Yeah. Okay, this time we've got 6 of them. I'll give you a size in each one. You can see there's some really small ones. Okay, let's see if I can put it by size here. I'm going to guess this is the smallest. This is a size 3 3/4. And that tells you how small that is, huh? So let's put that one there. This one is a 5. I'm assuming this one's a little larger. Oh, wow, this one's much bigger than I thought. This one's an 8 1/4. We'll put that at the end. This one is a 6 3/4. This one is a 7 3/4. And this one is, well, it's variable. It's currently at a 5 1/4, but it can be changed because you can see that it's got a split in it. Let me put this mandrel away so I don't drop it on my foot again. Oh, I didn't have a price on the beads, Marlon. I was going to say $8. Where did I do with them? Just had it on my hand, and I set them down somewhere. Oh, I have to do this myself. Set things down, and I don't know what's. Let's go back to the beads first, then we'll do that. Pull these aside for a second. Let's see if I can put my hands on again. Okay, great. That's not done. All right, just give me a second. Stand up and look. See where I might have said. All right. This is bizarre. I know I got a lot of junk laying around in here, but I'm probably looking right past them. I do that all the time. Oh, there they are. Okay, back to the beads. All right. Stone chip beads. I was going to start them at $8. I think that's what I wrote down on the little bag there. And I think it's a mixture of stuff in here. I see some. I think some quartz, maybe some pale amethyst right there. I thought maybe some citrine maybe in there. I don't know. But that's what it is. So, if there's interest. So, we celebrated our 53rd wedding anniversary last Wednesday while we were in Maine. So, and guess what I bought my wife? I bought her jewelry. I was telling you, this is one shop that I know the owner, and they either make the stuff or they work with some of the local craft jewelers and stuff like that. But a couple of them who I know, I think. Yeah, I don't think anybody else was interested. So yeah, I was 18 when I got married. So you can guess my age pretty quickly, right? Okay. So I see Beth at 8. So we'll say going once. Oh, typing there. Going twice. Last call. Excuse me. So to Beth. $8. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me write your name on that little bag. And is yours. Okay, I'll get back to the rings here. So what I did earlier, and I'm going to do the same thing here, is the name it to claim it in the rings. If you need a refresher on sizes or you need one, if you have a question, please let me know. I'll show you them all up close here in a minute. Just trying to get my computer to cooperate. It keeps doing some weird stuff here. Hang on. Yeah, okay. We'll do the same thing I did before, which is a buy it now of $4. And so basically it's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I just put the number in the chat and go. So, okay. So we'll show you each one here up close. This one's cute little, this is the smallest one. It's got a little tiny red stone in it. With, sign that. I don't think I showed that one before. I had another one I showed that had a red stone, didn't I? Okay. Maybe I did show that one before. Did I show these before? And that one. And that one. And this one's the split one. The butterfly. And this one. It looks like a purple jasper, maybe. I'm not sure. None of these had any markings that I could find, but I think except this one might have had something in it. But there was a little tiny mark in there, but I don't know if that's just from the casting or whatever. They can't quite make it out what it says. If that is a marker or just whatever. But any interest in any of those? Rings. Yeah, I just came across this bag of rings that I had tonight, and I was like, oh, I should see if there's any interest. I think I've probably shown these in the past, but anyway. Okay, let me grab another sip of water. And look for the next item. Okay, so this next item is going to be the exception to what I've charged in the past for these things, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay, no interest in the rings, that's fine. Like I said, they were, from small to large, just quite a variety there. At least I had some variety in sizes here compared to the first time around. So we'll pass on the rings, and that's okay. Fine. So I've got another dichroic piece, and this one's going to be a little different from the others. Why? Because it's on an actual silver chain that is 16-inch silver chain. So I was asking for these in the past, but because it's on a silver chain, I am going to start this at, what was I doing in the past? Oh yeah, I just did 14. So we're going to stick with 14 because it's still the silver chain. Be consistent here. Okay, and it is silver, guaranteed, and it is marked. If you can see that. There it is. I think it's 925 Italy. Yep. 925. Very delicate little chain, by the way, if you notice. This is a really interesting dichroic piece. Kind of a pale blue with some sparklies in it. I don't think the bail is silver. I don't know for sure, but I'm going to assume it is not. Just the chain. It's not marked, and because we got it, from somebody else, I didn't get a chance to test it. I see Beth at 14. Yeah, this woman made some really nice pieces, and what's interesting about this one is it has a bluish background. A lot of them have a black background. and not too thick either. So it's, we'll say going once, going twice. Oh, that's not my come on. Hit enter. Uh-oh. System's being finicky tonight. Last call. Sold to Beth for $14. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Grab a bag for that. And yeah, it's still 79 here, even with the AC going, but I got the AC turned down so it's not too noisy. Okay, let's set that aside with the other stuff. And write that down. There. Okay. Earrings. Oh, these are really cool. So I think I had these in the screen. So these are from made in Alaska, as you can see right on there in the bottom. It says it uses jade, hematite, garnet, amber, and onyx embellishments, and it's birch bark jewelry. I'm pretty confident that this is probably silver. The shepherd hooks. They have a bit of tarnish. It doesn't say on the description that I can see, but they are different. It's untangled here for some reason. When I moved it to look at the back, I tangled it up. Yeah. Okay. Let me set that down. Oh, well, it's better outside, actually. It's probably cooler outside than it is in here right now. It was 75 last time I looked, and so it's probably cooler than that now. But the upstairs of our house, we have a metal roof, and it's a dark metal roof. And so it absorbs the heat and holds it, which in the wintertime is fine, but in the summertime, not so much. So I've got a little wind air conditioner in here, but it's, I got it, like I said, I've got it turned down so it's not too noisy. So yeah, we had a heat wave that is ending. It hit 90 today. It was 100 on Monday, 95, 96 yesterday, and it hit 95, I think, or something like that today. Like I said, and yeah, so crazy. Alrighty. Okay. I'm just going to call these the birch earrings. I did price these. I did comp these, and it was interesting. I couldn't find these exactly like this because they're all unique. But I saw a pin rather, going for crazy. What I thought was way too much money. But I'm gonna give you a deal here. I think we'll start these at $10. And if you go ahead and comp these, you'll see they're going for, well, they're asking. I should say that. I should be careful. What you see people ask for and what they actually get for something like this. That's why I try to hedge my numbers a little bit too. So, but, 92 still there. Wow. But yeah, it's been crazy. We don't, up till the last several years, we don't get usually more than half a dozen or more days in the 90s. But this last several years has been up. But people say, "Oh, it's because of global change." But no, actually, back in I think it was in the 30s or 20s, I forget what it was. They were showing they had some. That's when some of the records were set over 100 years ago. So it's kind of crazy. So oh wow, I've I work with a lot of folks in India, like I mentioned earlier, and um, they're in the 100-degree range out there in India. Yeah, but they're used to it. So when they come here, they think it's cold. So, oh, really? Since '95? Wow. Hmm. Oh, I see Beth at 10. Thank you, Beth. Anybody else? Well, otherwise, we'll say going once. Now, I didn't show up. Let me show them up close again, just to make sure everybody gets it. There are Shabbat earrings, and you can see. And this is the card they came on. Twice. Yeah, I have had several of my coworkers from here that have been over there on assignment, and uh, it can be brutal. Plus, the traffic is just horrific. We think we got bad traffic here in the cities. It's nothing like that. In India, the cars are so close to each other in the city streets. They have to fold. They fold their mirrors in so they don't hit the next car. So okay, last call. And sold to Beth for $10. Thank you, Beth. And there's a sign. Lecturing down. Okay, let's see here. What's next? Let's do another necklace. This is a flashy one. And I think this is pretty short. It does have a 2-inch extender on it, but I'm going to say this about 16-inch. And it's a mixture of kind of a gold, amber color and clear on it. You can kind of make that out a little bit. So I'm going to call this the amber and crystal necklace. It's not amber color, I should say. And we'll start this one at $6. And there's no name on it that I can see. Extension, it's the usual lobster claw. So it's got about a 2-inch extension, so it will go to 18. We'll bring up the necklace closer so you can see the variation in colors. And just the silver tone backing. I don't know. One of these days I'll get around to fixing my displays so you can see things hanging properly. Because the silverness doesn't work on black, and my white display is broken. So yeah, we'll get to it one of these days. There's so many things to get done. Let's see what else we got left here. I'm just lining up my stuff here. What time is it? How are we doing on time? 10:10. Okay, well, it should work out about right. I've got earrings and necklaces to go. No more bracelets. No more rings. No more coins. Okay, actually, what about these? Interesting. Okay. Yeah, there you go. I'm just reading what you're telling, what you're going to tell Jeff. Okay, we'll pass on this one. All right. Well, speaking of native stuff, these are really cool. They appear to be copper, I think, or brass. You got a little either turquoise or turquoisette, and they're not a shepherd's hook. They're these again the gold tone little hook that fastens, it clips. And the interesting thing is the backs are just as decorative. My wife thinks, and I agree with her. See the little rings on these? Are you familiar with the hoop dance, the Native American hoop dancers? We wonder if this is a tribute to that. That's what we're thinking. Let me get that lighting in there a little better somehow. Yeah. Uh, so, so I can't claim this is native art. I can't verify it, and I can't say that it, but it gives the impression of it. Okay. Um, so I'm going to call this. What am I going to call this? This is either copper / brass earrings. I'm going to just leave it as a simple description, and you interpret what you want from what it is. And I'm going to start these at. What did she say? I think we'll start it at 8. She may have said more. I can't recall. But if you're familiar with, and I'm pretty sure she's right, because of the turquoise tends to make me think about that. It is native, and the design style, and no, I never got it. All I ever saw was Chicago was from coming into the airport. Never got the chance to go into the city, just the airport, many times. Anyway, so and they get the little hoop things, and so that's why we think it might be related to the hoop dancers. And I know there's a big competition for that. They do that. We watch it sometimes on YouTube. And actually, there's a powwows here in Vermont at least once or twice a year. So, don't know, Beth. Kachina, I've heard that term. I don't know what it means, though. But you can see that it's a hook, not a shepherd's hook, but the kind of clips, and then it has these little rings, and then with either turquoise or turquoisette stone in the middle. So, and then, like I said, the back looks very similar to the front, except for there's another stone. So, which is interesting with earrings when it comes to earrings, anyway. That we have the pattern on the front and the back. I see your $8 bid. One of my former coworkers at IBM was going to college in Chicago and lost his funding due to various situations. That's a long story, but ended up driving cab and other jobs like that in Chicago to continue to finish his college education. He had a lot of stories. He got stabbed once. So this was back in the 70s. So a long time ago. Well, Okay, I'll say going once, going twice. Last call. I still keep in touch with him on occasion. Haven't seen him in a long time. He lives out west. Sold to Beth for $8. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty. Yeah. Keep that on the card here and write that down. I'll have to look up that term, tuna dollar. Um, yeah, okay. What's next? Let's do another necklace. Need to do that. This was not marked, but I'll tell you what. There's a little bit of discoloration on this. Now, let me see what is marked. There's a tag here. No, it just says Korea. This is a pretty long necklace. I'm gonna guess around 20. Looks like 26. Yeah, I was gonna say 24 or 26. So, and it is marked Korea on the tag. No, that's not gonna focus. There it goes. And it's got a little bit of. So if it's not silver, I'm betting it's silver plated because there's some tarnish on it. It could be silver. I just couldn't test it. And so it's got this little pattern of the beads like that in it all throughout with a round style clasp. Oh, Miracle Mile. I'll have to check out what that is. That's interesting. Huh. Montreal has an underground city as well. If you ever go to Montreal, there's shops and everything down there. Yes, we'll do that, Beth. Making note of it right now. Okay, so I'm going to call this silver tone, or it could be silver plated, but I'm not sure. And blue 28-inch necklace. And we'll start this at $7. What's that? Quite long. Like I said, there is some tarnish, so I didn't try to clean it. I didn't realize it was tarnished until I looked at it today, actually. So, okay. And we'll do two more items here, I think, and we're going to call it a night. I have more, actually. We'll see if we get what we get through here. What I had planned, I guess, for the night. So that's very sweet. I'll make sure she gets that in her stuff. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pass on this one. Side. Another pair of earrings, and these are not marked either. Let me check. Let me do my magnet test real quick. I can't remember if I tested it. I don't recall. Okay. So the hoops on this are slightly magnetic. So if it's anything silver, it's going to be silver plated. But these are really interesting colors, I think. Oops, let me get rid of this on the screen. And I believe these are, I don't know what the material is. It doesn't feel like stone. So, oh, I'm sorry, Beth. I just saw your bid. Hang on. Let me just close it out here real quick. Sold to Beth. Because it just came in late. Nobody else is bidding. The silver tone and blue necklace. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty, I'm gonna grab that before I forget. Put that in the bag. Man of Peruvian. See, this is where I'm all over the place on those. We couldn't figure that out. All over the place on those. Okay. So the ones that are up now, they're kind of we call it blue. The color showing on the screen is pretty close to what it is. I'm going to call, but because I can't describe what the color is, I'm just going to call this the 4 bead earrings. And we'll start these at $4. How's that? And leave that up there while I think if it's not, the hooks are not silver. They are slightly magnetic. So it tells me that they are probably, if they're silver plated. So, is any interest in those? Otherwise, we will switch to some other items here. Okay. I have. Let me see. I got to check a couple. I got a couple other items here. I want to check to see what time it is. Like I said, I've been up since 6:30, so I'm a little tired. Plus, I did some rototilling today, so my shoulders and back are a little achy. That's the best way to put it. All right. No interest in those. That's fine. Pass on those. I'm gonna get another dichroic on gold tone chain. This one's really got an interesting pattern to it. It's kind of I'll call it red and gold, I guess. I'll call it. And same as the others, $8. Oh, sorry, Beth. Just saw your bid. Okay, earrings are yours. Market says, hang on, just write it in the chat here. Oh, what happened? There you go. Okay, write that down. There. Let's gotta bag those up. Gotcha. That's okay, Beth. Not a problem. I got you. Not a problem. I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, and I never know. I know for some people, any kind of delay can be pretty significant. For some it could be 7 to 8 seconds, and for some it would be as much as 15. So, yeah. Okay, so this is the dichroic. Let me put this against my hands, and then they show it with the little. Try to get it so the light's not glaring on it there. There we go. You can see it's got an interesting kind of a red pattern to it. Let me see if we can get it even closer here without too much glare on it. And of course, these the typical this most of these dichroics at the back is black. There's the edge. Try and get that as close as I can without the glare here. Yeah, that's not too bad. It actually catches the light really well. It's just I think my light's a little too intense. Looks like Christmas. Sorta. Yeah, I can see that. Or you think that? Yeah. Yeah. I actually think it looks. If you're holding it sideways, actually you can actually see on the edges of the thing. There's a little bit of blue tint right there. You can kind of catch it, and it's really interesting how which way angle you hold it, what you see. So, okay. So going once, going twice. Good. I know. I try to play with the light, especially with something like that, with it's so reflective. Last call. Sold to Beth for $8. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna write that down. Okay. And back that up. Okay. Well, I got a little bit of time here. Let me see here. Yeah, 10:27. We can do one more. This is a silver tone chain. I don't believe it's silver. I didn't press this one. I'm sure that isn't it. Yeah. It doesn't have it. It is magnetic. So, oh, let me get rid of that on the screen here. Boom. Okay. Um, so this is a sliced geode necklace. And we'll start this one at 7. Am I thinking about that? Write down some stuff about that here. Okay. Now, it is not a silver chain, it is silver tone. I'm going to guess about 18-inch, probably. Although, take that back, it's much longer than that. Get the ruler out. Yeah, now it's going to be closer to that. That's got to be closer to 20. Yeah, about a 20-inch chain on there. Sure. Okay. You can see the little crystals on the inside of the geode. That's the one side. That's the other side, which is actually shows the crystals even better. It's interesting how they can slice these things and get a nice polish on it at the same time. It's got a really nice pattern to it on the edges. Fireworks. Uh-oh. Fireworks starting. Is there some kind of event going on there? Or is this thunderstorm? Okay, so what's the difference? Oh, I see Beth at 7, so we'll say going once. Oh, I can type it in here. Going twice. Last call. Sold to Beth for $7. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that is going to be it for me tonight. I get Nikki and Sora. I don't need it quick. Let me just write this last thing down. Oops, knocking things down. Fortunately, nothing. It's just my display. Okay. There. All right. Yeah, I'm looking a little scruffy tonight. I kind of got spoiled on vacation. Didn't shave as often as I usually do. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my pen here. And we are going to call it a night. I definitely am planning on something for next week. I will try and do a preview Tuesday as usual. I think, is there anything else going on next week? No, I guess not. I know my grandson, my oldest grandson, who's a musician. We just missed him on Monday because it was so hot. We didn't think we could survive the 100-degree heat where he was playing. But yeah, you're right. Aging is not, getting old is not easy. And he's playing again on the 5th of July, closer to home. So we'll probably catch that. And hopefully we'll be 100-degree heat. I don't think he's outdoors this time. So, and shuts the lights off. But I hope everybody's doing well despite the heat and in my case, the age. We will see you next week. Same channel, same time as far as I'm planning right now. And if somebody wants, I've mentioned this in the past. I haven't mentioned it lately, but if somebody wants to join me sometime, I'd be more than welcome to have you come in and join me. And probably plan for a much longer night than just the 2 hours I do. Probably go, maybe go 3 hours instead of 2 hours or something like that. And kind of catch some more of the West Coast folks. So if there's any interest, let me know. I know, Beth, I know you do your own thing, so that's fine. But if you want to join me sometime too, that's be great. That's the same for anybody else that pays attention to my videos. So have a great night. See you next week.